Good morning. Welcome to another lesson uh, for A-level media studies, and we have been exploring about various camera shots and camera angles, and now we are gonna talk about camera movement. And sorry, I forgot to record lesson in the beginning, so we're gonna start recording from this point onwards. Let's do it.
There are countless variations of camera movement, each with their own language and purpose. A filmmaker who understands this language can create dynamic and compelling work. We'll be examining different types of camera movements. Along the way, we'll be updating a shot list of these camera movements in a Studio Binder shot list, which you can download and reference in your upcoming projects. Now, let's get moving. Let's begin with the shot that has no camera movement at all. This is the static shot. Static shots are commonly captured by locking the camera to a tripod in a fixed position. The result is a shot with zero camera movement. This is great for dialogue.
What business is it of yours? Where I'm from? Friendo.
Precise painterly compositions,
Redmond, nice to see you.
or shots that allow an actor's performance to shine.
Funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Get the out of here, Tommy.
You motherfucker! I almost had him! You stuttering prick! Yeah.
Sometimes filmmakers use static shots to trap a character and suggest their helplessness, like this moment from Dunkirk. In this scene from 12 Years a Slave, the static shot holds on Solomon's lynching. He is helpless, and we are not allowed to look away. Its cruelty is amplified by its stillness. A moving camera might have matched Solomon's panic, but this static shot, with its neutral and cold perspective, is far more unsettling. Let's move on to our next camera movement. The pan. A pan rotates the camera horizontally, left or right, while remaining in a fixed location. Pans can be used to follow.
Okay guys, fixed location means usually on tripod. ट्राइपॉड पे रहते हुए कैमरे का फेस लेफ्ट राइट यानी हॉरिजॉन्टली मूव करता है एंड दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ मूवमेंट विल बी कॉल्ड पैन और पैनिंग और पैन राइट और पैन लेफ्ट. तो आप कह सकते हो कि द सीन स्टार्ट्स विद अ पैन राइट शॉट वेयर कैमरा मूव फ्रॉम कैरेक्टर ए टू कैरेक्टर बी. इस तरीके से आगे एक्सप्लोर करते हैं.
Characters' actions,
दिस इज पैनिंग.
or be used to reveal information, which is something Wes Anderson does frequently.
Four minutes, 48 seconds.
That was also panning.
We're all dead. Burned to a crisp.
Moving on, a slow pan builds anticipation, while a rapid pan heightens the energy of a shot. These are known as whip pans. Director Damien Chazelle uses whip pans to create relationships between characters. In La La Land, he amps up the energy in the scene, while underscoring the growing synergy between Sebastian and Mia. He uses the same technique for a different effect in Whiplash, no pun intended. In the final scene, whip pans are precisely timed with the give and take of the music. accenting the combative relationship between Andrew and Fletcher. To learn more about webpans, check out our video where we break down how to use them to build energy and transition through time and space. Panning is ideal for horizontal movement. But what about the vertical axis, the tilt?
Yeah. So I hope you know what is pan, pan right, pan left, uh, slow pan, and whip pan. ठीक है? I hope now you know these terms. और पैन को हम जो फास्ट पैन करते हैं वैसे ट्रांजिशन में यूज़ कर सकते हैं, यानी पिछली शॉट में हम शॉट कैप्चर करने के बाद अपने कैरेक्टर के बाद हमने कैमरा फ़ौरन घुमा दिया, पैन कर दिया फास्ट, और सेकंड शॉट में कैरेक्टर को कैप्चर करने से पहले हमने दोबारा पैन करके कैरेक्टर पे लेकर आए, तो ये डूएबल। हम A2 में बहुत ज़्यादा ऐसी एक्टिविटीज़ करेंगे। Yes, maybe since I believe that we would be having a lot of time after January, so we would be experimenting such stuff there. आगे मूव करते हैं।
A tilt directs the camera upward or downward.
या tilting now. टिल्ट में भी कैमरा ट्राइपॉड पे फिक्स्ड रहता है, सिर्फ उसका फेस अपवर्ड या डाउनवर्ड यानी वर्टिकली मूव कर सकता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड टिल्टिंग। एंड इफ कैमरा इज मूविंग अपवर्ड्स इज कॉल्ड टिल्ट अप, इनका फेस अपवर्ड जा रहा है, एंड इफ इट्स फेस इज गोइंग डाउन while its body is fixed on tripod, that is called tilt down, यानी tilt up and tilt down.
Filmmakers use tilts to capture the verticality of a film's world.
That was a tilt.
This can be used to give a character dominance,
Like I told you कि जो लो एंगल होता है वो डोमिनेटेड दिखाता है कि जो जिस कैरेक्टर को आप लो एंगल कैप्चर कर रहे हो, ही विल फील पावरफुल, डोमिनेटेड, स्ट्रॉन्ग और मे बी इविल, ठीक है, जैसे कि सिनेरियो में हो रहा है।
or vulnerability.
Yes, we're men. Men is what we are.
Similar to a pan, a tilt can reveal information, like a character, setting, or scale.
Who are the people?
Projections of my subconscious.
Yours?
Yes.
In Inception, Ariadne tests how much of the dream world she can distort.
My question is, what happens when you start messing with the physics of it all?
Nolan tilts up to capture the awe and scale of this spectacular moment.
I hope you have seen the movie Inception. नहीं तो कोशिश करना, we can get it from somewhere or maybe Netflix पे भी होगी. It's a really good movie. It's a dream within a dream and within a dream, and they keep on traveling from one dream to another. It's quite logical and awesome film.
The visceral effect of being on the street, looking upward at such a spectacle, is accentuated with a simple camera tilt.
Something, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Switching our attention from upward or downward, our next camera movement takes us inward. Push in. The push-in shot moves the camera towards the subject.
अच्छा, इसको हम डॉली इन बोलेंगे। पुश इन टर्म जो है वो भी यूज होती है, लेकिन ज्यादातर डॉली इन यूज होती है।
Pushing the camera is all about emphasizing a moment.
Get our informers to find out where it's going to be held.
A visual cue to the audience that this is important.
Public place, a bar, a restaurant, some place where there's people so I feel safe. But if Clemenza can figure a way to have a weapon planted there for me, then I'll kill them both.
You can push in on an external detail such as an object. or text. In doing so, filmmakers can direct our attention to a specific detail. Or it can capture a character's thought process. Like in this moment from The Post, when Ben comes to terms with exposing the infamous Pentagon Papers. A push-in is an effective way to communicate internal conflict, like in the iconic restaurant scene in The Godfather. Michael Corleone is about to kill the man who tried to kill his father. It would be a life-changing decision, a point of no return into the underworld. A slow push-in towards Michael elevates the tension as we watch him wrestle with the consequences and gathering the courage to pull the trigger. Which leads us to our next camera movement. The opposite of the push-in is the pull-out. Unlike
और इसको हम dolly out regularly यानी routine में बोलते हैं. So I wouldn't mind if you use the term push in and pull out, but you can also use the term dolly in and dolly out.
pushing in, pulling the camera de-emphasizes the subject. A sort of signal to disconnect from the characters. It can unveil the context of a scene, its setting, or its characters. As subjects grow smaller, a pull-out can detach us from a scene, or the entire film. Like in the final shot from Catch Me If You Can. The same movement can also emphasize negative emotions like isolation or abandonment. In this scene from Joker, we see Arthur at his most vulnerable. This camera movement away from him highlights his helplessness. And rather than push in to help us sympathize with Arthur, director Todd Phillips pulls away, abandoning him.
या ऑडियंस को भी दूर कर रहे हैं, इसको फर्दर अबैंडन कर रहे हैं.
Our next movement directs our attention without moving the camera at all.
Zoom in.
Enter the zoom.
अगर जूम करते हुए कैमरा मूव नहीं कर रहा लेकिन फ्रेम उसके क्लोज हो रहा है तो उसको जूम इन बोलेंगे और उसका रिवर्स है जूम आउट होगा.
Zoom may not be a camera movement per se, but there is movement created in camera. Zoom shots change the focal length of a camera's lens to zoom in or zoom out. Similar to pulling back a camera, zooming out can reveal the context around a subject, like this opening shot from The Graduate. Zooms are unique because there is no equivalent in the human experience. Like a push-in, we can physically move closer to a subject, but our eyes can't zoom, making this camera movement unnatural.
Shouldn't we give them the authorities or something? No.
It can also draw our attention to a specific detail. Many horror or thriller films use a slow zoom to create uneasiness.
You said she's a conduit.
That's right.
What does that mean?
A very powerful demonic has latched itself onto her.
And Stanley Kubrick is the master of this technique. This iconic shot from The Shining slowly zooms in to highlight Jack's descent into madness. The use of a zoom doesn't stop there. A fast zoom is known as a crash zoom. Crash zooms can often be used for either dramatic or comedic effect.
Just like Star Plus, they really use crash zoom. Star Plus का ये short. Okay, guys, I need to pause the recording, rather stop it, and let's get back to question answer thing first, and we will have we will resume lesson as soon as it gets ended.